Welcome everyone to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Now, welcome back. We are still working our way through our backlog of movies here. Today we have Marek, special guest star throughout the entire podcast. It's been a while, if at all, since that's happened.
I'm the ticket.
He's the ticket. He's the ticket. If you didn't know. Today, what are we looking at today? Today we are starting off with the new A24 movie Warfare, based not on a true story but on memory alone. So it's even going to be even truer than a true story. Next up, we have The Amateur, a new Rami Malek movie doing his own kind of take on a John Wick style of film. And then we are wrapping up the night here with the newest Angel Studios animated film, The King of Kings. Yes. As always, guys, be sure to subscribe because it really helps us out. And feel free to use the timestamps below to skip around to your favorite movie or just jump ahead straight to the rankings if that's all you care about. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right on into our first movie of the night, Warfare. Isaac, take her away, please.
A surveillance mission goes wrong for a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq.
Nice. Now, I want to start this off by saying this movie sets its tone perfectly in the opening scene
Oh, yes.
because I don't recall exactly what it was. I think it was just like an exercise workout video with like a lot of hot babes on it, or maybe it was a music video on tape or something. But it was just a bunch of boys in army uniforms staring at the screen, getting rowdy and like excited for like the dancing, the music, the sexy chicks, you know. And then immediately they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. They're all like chanting and cheering and hooping and hollering and right. And then all of a sudden, in a snap, it's nighttime in Iraq, dead quiet. And then you hear the sound of gunshots off in the distance, which is almost certainly
Yeah.
the sound of someone dying very nearby to you. And it's just very like hell yeah, a bunch of army boys being dudes, you know, and then just, you know, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. This, if you've seen the meme with like the World War II guy just like staring off into the distance, that's this movie.
Yeah.
That movie
By the
is this
way,
movie's that emotion.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
By the way, just quick, because I'm the computer guy. The video they were watching at the beginning of the movie was the "Call on Me" music video by Eric Prydz.
Ah,
That's what it is, and it still perfectly set the tone for the movie. I absolutely agree with you. Like, this movie is probably it's what I've been seeing the number one thing I've heard people say about this movie. It is probably the most accurate representation of modern warfare on the screen.
the game? No.
No,
No, but you're right.
because even that opening scene, like, oh my gosh, the amount of like stuff. Because I've had quite a couple of military members in my family, and I remember when my uncle was over in Afghanistan or Iraq, whichever one it was at the time. Uh, and I remember when he used to send home videos of him and his platoon just fucking about. And one that is etched into my head is them doing the banjo battle like with fucking brooms, and it was the funniest fucking thing ever, and I love it. Like it's really cool seeing like the that part, like the fact that they start this movie with that is like super important as well
Mm-hmm.
because like it shows that part of it, and then the rest of the movie is the most harrowing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right. And as you said, a lot of people are saying this is the most like realistic depiction of like war movies, and like you see stuff like Saving Private Ryan, you know, Hacksaw Ridge, Fury, like a bunch of other stuff like that. But those are all very cinematic. Like you're very aware that these
Mhm.
are actors in a movie, and there's like musical scores in the background, and there's like slow cinematic shots, and there's this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
But with this, there's like no background music. It's
It's
like
honestly dead quiet
the
sometimes.
most recognizable people in the movie is Will Poulter, who, you know, we knew immediately, but he's not the most famous person on earth. And then Joseph Quill, which he's still in that phase where
When
Quinn. Exactly. See, he's still in that phase where he hasn't really cemented himself yet. He's in a lot of big roles in a lot of big movies, but like you still couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
the only other person that I even recognized in this movie, like, oh hey, I know that guy, was let's see, Jake. Was the guy it was the guy in Team B, I think they called it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the second team that shows up, like the one that kind of takes that's like taking charge in front of them. Like I think he's the one that Will Poulter's tells to take over.
Yeah,
Like
the
he needs
the
to
guy
take
who
over
comes
because
in to
it's yeah.
take over, yeah.
Yeah. I only recognize him because I know he was on Riverdale, and that's it.
Poor guy.
Yeah,
Merrick,
like that's
Merrick, what did you think?
I am glad we ate before watching the movie because would not have been hungry afterwards.
You wouldn't want
true.
like some frog legs,
No,
a leg of lamb. No,
no.
interesting.
No, this movie was just
Turkey leg.
straight harrowing. It's the
Yeah,
Stop
there's.
best.
suggesting legs for me to eat.
It's true. No, but yeah, it's the thing that really grounds it in like realism for me is how boring it was at first, intentionally so, because they're just on all they're doing is they're on like a stakeout duty, like they're like just watching for activity. So
Yeah.
you have like upwards of I think around somewhere like 8 to 10 guys just in this one building, and like half of them are just like sitting on the floor just not really doing anything, and like there's one guy messing with
Yeah.
the radio, you know, reporting in, and then there's two guys taking turns with the sniper, and everyone else is just kind of chilling. And then a whole lot of nothing happened for like the first 20 minutes, but intentionally so. Because then
Well, it was
once
all
in the
it,
room nothing happened because there was the
yeah,
build
well, it
up
was also
outside.
really yeah, but it was also really nice because it showed that like recon side of war as well, where it's like they're using codes constantly
Mm-hmm.
and like they all have their own what was his name? Frogman?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Was that what it is? So like that, yeah. Like like they're all using codes because if anything gets intercepted, they need to like they can't be traced back to them and everything, and like they have to keep like track of who's all entering this building and all that, and like they can't even. I don't even remember if they were there if they were supposed to be taking these guys out or if they were just there for
They
recon.
were just for recon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they noticed them, and then the enemy noticed them, and that's when all hell breaks
Yeah,
loose.
cuz like it's very calm and boring and nothing's really going on. The reporting in every now and then a grenade just falls through the hole in the wall, and then just everything goes to shit after that, and you're just immediately gripped into this story because you feel like you're right there. And with this being based on a true story, based on the memory, like just like everything the guy can remember, and B, not really having any central main character whatsoever, absolutely nobody in this movie had plot armor. Anybody could have died at any moment, and
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, that like narratively that doesn't make sense for him to die there. And I'm like, it doesn't have to. It's just this is what happened. So if someone
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
caught a
Real.
so if somebody just got shot in the head out of nowhere, that's what happened.
Yeah. You brought up something that was one of the biggest things for me that made this movie all the more like terrifying is the fact that normally when you see a war movie, like you brought up, like they're usually cinematic and stuff. My thing uh is that normally when you see a war movie, it is either based on a true story from like the fucking like Civil War, not Civil War, like World War II, Vietnam, things like that, or it's a fictional story set in like nearer to now. It's like a fictional modern war story.
Yeah.
This is something that happened in my lifetime while I was sitting safe in my home, and it's completely 100% accurate to the to the best memory of the things of the people that survived it. And what's even more like drives that point home, because sometimes they'll say based on a true story, and then you'll see stuff in it and you're just like, eh. But like at the end of the movie, they showed that they had these guys that survived it. Like they're holding guns like on the street and like walking them through like
Yeah.
exactly what they did.
Yeah,
Like
it
this is
wasn't like they interviewed the guys and asked them what happened. Like, the co-director and co-writer of this movie was one of the guys. He was the guy with the
Yeah.
radio. He
yeah.
was there,
You
and he showed them everything what happens, and he like walked through the actors like what they
yeah.
did.
The reason why you brought up a point. The reason why this movie makes you feel like you're there, it's because you are. This is not a
Yeah,
dramatization or just based on this. It is you are witnessing history. Literal exact history.
yeah,
Like something that happened. And it's not even something huge. That's the saddest part about it as well. Is that it's not even like, oh, it's when they killed bin Laden or they got this big terrorist. It's a random op
yeah. They
that
were
went
just
to
on a
shit.
stakeout to like keep recon, to keep eyes on that building. They got attacked, and then some of them made it home alive after, and then they got pulled out and they left.
Oh
They didn't really have
gosh.
much to gain, and they had just a lot to lose. It was crazy.
It's unfortunate because I feel like we can't go into too much detail because this movie exists. Like the biggest praise you can give for this movie is you have to go and see it.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you just have to go and see it. Us explaining it to you is not does not do this movie justice in the slightest.
true.
Like at all.
Merrick, what was the coolest part in the movie?
The show of force.
Oh my god, the show of force.
That shit
Holy shit.
rocked.
That was
That was America right there, motherfuckers.
hard as hell.
That goes
They just call in
fucking
a show of force. It's like, we need a show of force, and my immediate thought is like, what are they gonna do? Like, they can't drop any bombs or anything. Like, they're right there. They can't just start spraying down there. Like, what do you mean show of force? What are you gonna do? They have a jet that just flies kind of close to the ground, and it's just whoosh, and just
it's like not
throws
even
up
100 feet.
all the
Like
sand,
it's about 100 feet above the ground.
all the sand and dirt in the street just gets funneled by the wind, and it just explodes everywhere.
It's like they summoned a shockwave.
Yeah,
It was exactly what they did.
it was insane.
Yeah.
Like it was cool every time. They did it like 2 or 3 times through the whole movie, and it was cool every fucking time they did it.
After the first time, I was like, "What the hell's a show of force?" The second time, I'm like, "Hell yeah, show of force!"
Murica.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think everybody did just an immaculate job acting out the roles that they were given. Like,
Oh
I think having
yes.
someone who was there, or multiple people, because they had several of the others people visit and do a
Yeah.
lot of their training and stuff. Having them there to just tell them like, this is what happened, this is what I felt, this is real.
This is what I did
Yeah, it walked
in
them
some
through
kind
like
of
that.
areas. Like
Joseph
I have
Quill. Joseph
Quinn.
Q. Mr. Q. He, um, I'm not gonna elaborate too much, but he gets injured at one point in the movie, and he's just letting out the wails of the damned.
Oh my god! Don't, dude! Like you just gave me chills, reminding me of that.
Yeah, man
Oh, it
can
was
scream in utter agony. He did a great job.
that was. Oh my god,
Oh,
Uh,
that was
and then I'll
terrifying.
talk about one more scene, because after that, that's the only thing I really wanted to get out of the way. Um, After there's a big explosion at some point, and after they're getting everyone to safety, um, the main guy, the radio guy, who the director was,
Yeah,
he's got the headphones on, right, plugged into the radio on his back, so he's hearing two other like people, like sides of the unit, like somebody else in contact with him and doing that. They're all talking in like the staticky, army radio voice and frequency and whatever. And there's people
yeah.
around him outside the headphones who are yelling and screaming in pain and yelling, trying to get everything together. And then they're shooting outside, and he's trying to like help someone who's bleeding out and whatever. And all of that just coalesces in this like fog of like noise in his head, and he
Oh
just can't
yeah.
take it, and he just leans back and just rips the cord out, so then the radio's just out, and he can focus on
That
what's going on. I'm like,
that
real. That was
yeah
starting to stress me out. Like, I was starting to like not
yeah.
be okay with all that. And he was just like,
That
and I'm just like, man, deserved.
that is that scene is made even better by the fact that immediately following said explosion, there is probably about a good 5 minutes of screen time where you can't hear shit properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's just
Oh
the
yeah.
ringing in your ears and the muffled sound of
oh yeah.
gunfire. And like, and like, which is what made Joseph Quinn's acting all the more better, because the first thing you hear properly after that is this man wailing, and it was oh my
Dude, look, I've never been to war, clearly. Okay? I've never known anyone personally who's been to war. Um but I totally understand the shell shock that was portrayed on screen, because like half the army guys after the explosion, you'll just see one just like standing staring at a stairwell and
yeah.
just like jaw open, and you're not just like, what are you doing, we're in the middle of the war, hello. No, you're just
Like
like,
they can
no,
train.
real
Yeah,
real bomb went off in your face. You're free to disassociate in the corner, I understand.
yeah, yeah.
It
Oh,
felt like really real. Like, I'm just like,
it
man,
did.
I
Oh yeah,
feel
one
that.
more
It
thing.
was. It happened.
It
That
it
one,
was real.
that
It
one,
happened.
yeah,
Good
it
point,
was
man.
real. That one soldier's an asshole.
Yeah, there was the guy who like stepped on like the wounded guy's wounded leg, and he was like wailing out in pain again. And he's just, hey, can we watch? We're walking here. Like, we have
He's like,
injured
you're
people here.
good, and taps
And he
it.
slaps his leg like, nah, you're fine. And he's like, dude, what an asshole, that guy. Uh,
Anyone
uh,
have anything else?
Anything else?
I literally have zero criticism for this movie. Literally none.
Yeah, I can't think of a single bad thing about this movie.
All right,
Yeah.
are we all good? Are we
I'm
good to
good.
move into the rankings?
I'm good. Let's go on
Absolutely.
into the
I want to
rankings.
kick us off. I am going to give, I believe, my first official 10 out of 10 for this year. This movie was fucking immaculate. I still think about it every once in a while. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
I was telling everyone at work about it for like a week afterwards.
Yeah. I'm also gonna give this a 10 out of 10. And I have a collection of the number one best movies of the year that me and Isaac and the cinema regulars have seen in theaters. Whatever the number one is, whatever the best one of the year in my opinion is, I buy it on DVD. I have a whole separate shelf for that. I'm not gonna make any promises here, but I could absolutely see Warfare being the 2025 pick for that shelf. Like,
Yeah.
it is so
Mhm.
harrowing. Like, that was the only word in my
Mhm.
head as we left the theater, was harrowing.
It's the,
It
oh,
it really it brings the real war directly to your face and then punches you with it. It's it is unlike
yeah.
any other war movie I've ever seen. It, Merrick?
Well,
I am also going to give this a 10.
Hell yeah.
That's three
yeah.
tens for this movie. It was just
It
That
it was
left you feel. It almost left you feeling hollow.
that he got the
yeah.
shell shock. Look at him.
It's it's exactly like this. Immediately after watching the movie, I was just that
Just
that
like
happened.
that
Yeah,
was
that
real.
happened.
That's real. And you know what? That's not the worst thing that's happened in that war. It's not the worst thing that
Yeah.
Yeah,
happened in any war.
that's not the worst.
That was like a day. That's
Yeah.
just one troop in one location on like one day. Like, it was probably like 48 hours total, the whole movie. Like, this was just a thing that happened. It wasn't even the worst, it wasn't even the biggest, it wasn't even like the most popular
It
or
was.
anything.
It wasn't even 48 hours. You're correct. It was less than 24 hours because the movie starts with him taking position at night,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't even make it to a second night.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
So it's not even a full 24 hours. Granted,
I
there
mean,
may have been a time skip after they like post up,
depending on
but
at what time they were watching that music video, it could have been
fair
days,
enough.
that's
weeks.
true.
No, but no,
Like,
fantastic movie. Love it. This is just absolutely something to buy and keep. This is going
yeah,
right on my action shelf. This is a
whether or not it's the number one movie, we're buying this.
oh yeah, dude. Everything
Oh yeah.
above, like, every 10 I'm guaranteed to buy on DVD or digitally or in some fashion, because I just want to own it, because it's cool to have a collection like that. Um,
Mhm.
9 or 10s are pretty much guaranteed to be bought. This was fantastic,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Absolutely could
Um
not do any better on this movie if you tried. Moving on to our second movie of the night, we have The Amateur, starring our fan favorite Rami Malek here. Isaac, take us away, please.
Charlie Heller is a brilliant CIA decoder whose world comes crashing down when his wife dies in a London terrorist attack. When his supervisors refuse to take action, his intelligence becomes the ultimate weapon as he embarks on a dangerous trek across the globe to track down those responsible.
Right. Merrick, you're up first. What did you think?
I really enjoyed this movie.
Okay. Any specific parts, scenes, or aspects of the movie that you thought were exceptionally good or especially good?
Um, like this was in the trailer, but I really like this. Um, when he's got like the bomb, and he's like, "Oh, if you jump real fast, you can avoid it."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you jump really fast, you might survive the blast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that was
all
that
all
was
the all
hard.
the
hard.
All the kills I were great.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah, they were
were.
fantastic. So basically what this boils down to without, beating around the bush at all is that it's a John Wick movie. It's, they mess with the wrong guy and then he seeks out to, kill out everyone involved. Um but the thing is, the twist on this one is that he's just like a computer geek. He's not a fighter, he's not a
Yeah.
killer, he can't even really shoot a gun
He's
at
a
all.
hacker, basically.
Yeah, he works for the CIA on the computers and whatnot. So what he does is he uses those skills to go after these guys. Like he hooks up the swimming pool that arches over. Like the both ends are on two separate parts of the building, and there's just nothing under the bottom. So he hooks up a device to it that'll like depressurize the glass, so it'll all just shatter out from underneath him, and it'll just be plummeting
Yeah.
100 stories down.
Because they even show at one point like the schematics for the pool.
Yeah.
And basically what the pool is two giant plates of glass with a layer of air between them. And he used the device to pressurize the air so that way when he basically what he did is he put a bunch of pressure into it. And then when he activates the device, it lets all that air out, forming a vacuum between the two plates and just like absolutely crippling them.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
The other one that Merrick was talking about, with the blast and jumping out of the way. This man is like Jigsaw, by the way. He
Yeah.
he tells the guy that whatever he's looking for is in the box or the crate, the chest, whatever. He lifts it up, and opening it is the trigger. So if he lets it go, if he lets go of it and it closes, there's nail bombs inside that will explode out. So like he's stuck there holding it open, not able to go anywhere. And he gives him the information he wants, and he said like, "You'll disarm this, right?" And then he just walks away. And he's like,
Yeah.
You had a deal." And he's just like, "Yeah, but you killed my wife. If you jump out of the way fast enough, you might dodge the blast." He doesn't. Spoiler alert: he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
survive
This
the
man
blast.
This man is a genius because like he one of my favorite things that he does in this movie that is like, oh my god, he's a fucking like mastermind, is when he bluffs the fucking CIA itself into thinking he has like all this blackmail against like his handlers or whatever, and that he has a kill switch set up to like automatically upload all this evidence he has, and he bluffs them into thinking that he has it just so he can buy himself X amount, like a certain amount of time to get the training he wants to learn how to like disappear and shit.
Yeah.
And like that was so good.
Yeah, Rami Malek was a good actor, and he played the role very, very good and very, very smart.
He was absolutely the right choice for this character. And he has good practice for this because he has a show that he was on that I haven't watched yet, but he plays this type of character in a show called Mr. Robot.
Yeah, it's critically acclaimed.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, so but I still he fits this archetype really really well. And I love also the fact that there's an evolution to him as the movie goes on, because he starts as this really timid guy, and like even with the first like kill, quote unquote,
Yeah.
like he doesn't really have the heart in it because he's not a killer. That's the whole point. Is that like I'm not a killer. So he like has to set up this like degree of separation between like what he's doing and the end result.
Yeah, like he's setting
being
up
the death of
stuff
someone.
like traps for them to catch themselves in and die rather
Yeah.
than him just
Like-
popping a hole in their head.
Like decompressing the glass. Like he has the thing of like, I'm just activating a device. The device is doing it. Like it's that kind of
Or like if you die,
like
you're dying like quite far away from me. Like you're all the way down
Yeah.
there and dead.
The guy with the bomb, like he was standing away from
Yeah,
him,
he walked
like
away.
already.
He was already leaving when the guy died.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it was just, and like, it's. I love someone who's like where you misunderestimated someone who's just good at technology because
Mm.
there's so much bullshit you can do
Yeah,
like with a character like that where you can have him do whatever the fuck you want, like him tricking all of the facial recognition software, and they're like, well, yeah, he designed pretty much all of our security software, of course he knows how to trick it.
exactly, exactly. I mean, you're messing with the wrong guy. Exactly.
Yeah. The line that Lawrence Fishburne uses is like, maybe you all underestimated this individual.
Yeah, very true words. And I thought the stuff with him and his wife and the plane and the compass, like all that stuff, I thought that was sweet. You know,
That was. It really
it
was.
wasn't
And
anything like super great or really well written, but like I thought it
yeah,
was charming in one way or another.
at the risk of spoiling too much, you said you made a joke as we were leaving the theater.
Did I?
Bro is the fucking death touch to any female he encounters. Like he is
True.
like
Because like
like
every
at
woman
first
he met in the movie, he got her killed.
yeah.
I'm like, damn. Start hanging out with dudes, cause like it's not
Oh,
working, dog.
the moment in the movie, where like he finds out that this person he was communicating with and he asks for help.
Mm-hmm.
It's a woman, and like originally it was a man and she just took it over and everything and all that. And they've both been, lonely. Like she lost her husband and he lost his wife. And there's a moment where she comes to him and she's like, "I'm not asking for anything like from you. I just want to sleep in a bed with someone else.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to sleep in bed alone
yeah, that was
anymore."
sad and
Like
sweet at the
that was
same time.
really sad. It
I
was
was like,
like
I get
and
it.
he just and he even was like, "Yeah, sure." And it wasn't in like any like, "Oh, they're going to get together," like they like kind of thing. Like no,
It was more
it's
sad than
just
anything.
yeah, it was two people who are fucking devastatingly lonely right now, and they just need the company of another human being.
Yeah, I thought that was a great scene. My only gripe is that it was cut too short. They were in a
Yeah.
bed together for like 10 seconds, and then the CIA came knocking.
Yeah.
Right.
Chicken
Oh,
alarm.
The chicken alarm. That's
chicken
true.
jockey.
Please shut up. We already put out the Minecraft podcast. We're done. Anyone else have anything to say about the Amateur?
He is definitely not an amateur anymore.
Yes, sir. All right, moving on to the rankings. I'm gonna give this one a pretty high 6 out of 10. Out of all the John Wick clones, I think this one had a very nice twist on it that you don't see in a lot of the other ones. And I think Rami Malek was the perfect choice. You know, he's a great actor, and it was cool to see him slide into a role like this.
Yeah. I think I'm actually probably gonna give this like a low 7. Like this was very entertaining. Normally I put movies like with like Killer's Game and stuff like that. Those usually end up in any Jason Statham movie. Those usually end up in like the 6 range, but this kind of took a step above that and it had a lot of really good moments and it was kind of a breath of fresh air in a way where it's like it's taken something that's been done a bunch and putting like almost a calmer attitude on it.
Like a more like
Like it's not,
thought out and like a more
yeah.
intellectual take on it rather than just guy has gun and he's good with gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus we also had what's his name? I want to say is John Bernthal.
Yeah.
Is that who
Thomas
that
Jane.
is? Yeah,
He was
yeah.
there
John
for 2
Bernthal was in
scenes.
this too. Yeah, he was. I guess he was only there for 2 scenes. I don't know. I like that he plays the same character in everything he's in.
Yeah.
It works for him.
Merrick?
I'm also gonna give this movie a 7. Um, very entertaining. Um, I think the more like tricking them into like the trap sort of killing
Mm-hmm.
is really cool.
Because it's like Jigsaw.
The the
Yeah,
last one of the movie, like I don't want to say
the,
I don't want to say what it was.
Then
the
don't.
last one was good.
Last one
The
was
very last
good.
the very last one was good.
Was probably his best one. That was really smart.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was.
Moving on to our third movie of the night, we have the new animated movie from Angel Studios, The King of Kings. Isaac, please take us away.
Renowned writer Charles Dickens shares the story of Jesus Christ with his son Walter. As his father narrates the stirring tale, Walter becomes captivated with the events of Jesus' life.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, first off, that this is a Korean film. Like this was made in Korea.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when you look at when you Google this and like it tells me all the stuff about it, for budget, it automatically defaults to won.
Fair
Like
enough.
it says what it is in won, and then it says what it is in the other one.
It has surpassed Parasite for the #1 highest grossing Korean film in America now. So, way to go.
Yeah,
That yeah,
Jesus, he is the King of Kings
that's true.
after all.
It's true. I thought this was great. I thought this was a very good like children's introduction into the story of Jesus, and like
Mhm.
the animation was like very good quality. It had a star-studded cast for like absolutely no reason.
Oscar
Oscar
Isaac.
Isaac, Oscar Isaac Jesus is a fucking insane pick, and I love it.
Merrick.
I was just saying Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Bro's got Moon Knight and Jesus on his rap sheet, so it's like, what's he gonna do
And
now?
Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man 2099. Like, how far up can one go? Bro went to Jesus. That's
That
how
was
far up.
crazy. Oscar Isaac, Uma Thurman, Ben Kingsley was in this.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Freaking, oh my god. The movie had an absolutely insanely stacked cast. D.
Yeah.
Bradley Baker.
Oh well, let me. I wonder who he played.
I wonder.
I wonder who he played.
I wonder who he
I
played.
he played the child.
He played the cat, Isaac. He played the cat.
Yeah, I know.
He played
Friggin',
every
I
animal
think
in the movie.
He
Because
played
that's
all those fish.
he played the bread too, to be fair.
True.
fucking Mondo was in this movie.
Oh,
Uh,
The guy, I believe it's Mondo.
as in Olari?
Fred, yeah, Torbjorn was in this.
What do you elaborate? Name.
Uh, Here, hold on. I'm double checking my sources on whether or not he is who I think he is.
This dude.
meanwhile, Mark Hamill also
Meanwhile,
in the movie,
This the
yeah, it's
evil
King Herod.
the Evil King.
It's true. I mean, he sounds like an evil king. I'm just saying. Good
That's true.
picture.
There's the Joker.
It's the Joker.
Yeah, it was.
Name, Isaac. Just give me the name.
Oh, the guy's name?
Yes.
Fred
Correct.
Tatasciore.
Okay, that's Cannonbolt.
It's Cannonbolt? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Well,
Still,
I have no idea
I,
if he played other people as well, but I'm aware of who that is.
yeah. He was Pharisee Eleazar. He was one of the Pharisees.
Yeah, nice. Um, yeah. So again, like it's tale as old as Jesus. So I mean, they didn't do
Tale
anything.
as old as Jesus.
I mean, I gotta say, I gotta hand it to them. They did add like pretty much all of my favorite like stories, like Lazarus, Legion. Uh, what was the other one? I'm completely blanking. Oh, when they lower the guy down
The
into the
fish,
in from the roof down to the roof,
the fish and the bread.
fish in the bread. Like yeah, they get like the bits like I thought that the Legion story was like kind of too dark for kids and that they wouldn't do it, but there it was. Lo and behold.
Is that the is that the one where he like goes into the temple and like
No,
starts knocking stuff over?
that's when the man possessed by demons comes up to Jesus and Jesus sends the demons into the pigs and the pigs jump off the cliff into the sea.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "What's your name?" And he says, "Legion, for we are many."
Yeah.
Because there's demons inside of him. Anyways, um, the most like unique, interesting, and I've like okay, that was a very good choice, like artistically and narratively wise. Is back when they're doing the walking on water scene, and Peter's reaching out towards him, and he slips and falls into the water, right? And Jesus grabs his hand. He says, "You fell in because you wavered in your belief." Um, and they come back to that at the end of the movie where the little kid is envisioning himself like drowning in the water, like falling down deeper into the ocean, and Jesus grabs his hand and pulls him up, but then Jesus switches places with him and the kid goes up and Jesus starts sinking down. I thought like visually and metaphorically that was very well done for the kind of like I will take the punishment for your sins off of you and wash you clean so you can go up, like the sacrifice that meant. I thought that like visualizing it that way makes it really easy to be understood, and I thought that was brilliant that they did that.
I love that the what this was is that Charles Dickens sees that his son is like obsessed with King Arthur and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and he has this his son has this idol in his head that he looks up to and like aspires to be like. And so he takes that, uses that to like uses the story of King Arthur, which I had no idea that the story of Jesus is what like inspired the legend of King Arthur. I had no idea about that.
Hmm.
Uh but he takes his son is okay, my son's obsessed with the king, so I'm gonna tell him about the king of all.
Yeah,
Like
the king of kings, if you will.
the king of kings, not the king of queens. We no, not him. No, it's the king of kings.
This guy.
I did not
By the
expect to
way,
be talking about Kevin James in the Jesus portion of the podcast.
I'm gonna be real with you. By the way, both of you are frozen on my screen, so you're just looking at me with a deadpan expression right now,
That's not
like it's
frozen.
frozen
That's
enough.
me. That's not frozen. That's my
Like,
honest reaction to that information.
Emma's just looking down. So like, I haven't seen any like gestures you guys have made in the past like 5 minutes.
You didn't see this one. No, we're fine. All right. Merrick, do you have anything you want to add?
I mean, not especially. I mean, I knew I knew some of the stories already. There's a few of them actually I haven't
So you
heard
learned something.
of.
You learned.
I did.
Educational.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get you in.
there were stories that I hadn't even heard of before
Yeah.
that I hadn't
Sure.
even like at least didn't consciously know of.
Yeah,
Isaac,
like
I
after
go ahead.
Isaac didn't know that Jesus was just casually parrying demons out of people's bodies.
after the movie, Isaac, you said you didn't know about the one where he flips the table.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
I
his his most angriest moment on Earth, where he takes out the whip
because
and
it's
he starts
not
like.
talked about a lot. Like I was confirmed. Like I was Catholic for a majority of my life, and I went all the way through the process of confirmation, and I never once learned about that scene because I guess it's not good optics to show
That's great
Jesus as
optics.
anything
What do you
other.
mean?
Well, I don't know. Like that might just be
This
the
was the
Catholic
this was
Church.
the
I don't know, but
temple
like,
for prayer. Like it
yeah,
was a house of God, and he shows up, and people have turned it into you know, Starbucks. Would you not be mad?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'd be mad too. But what I'm saying is that like it's not really thought of. Like when you think Jesus, you don't think a man that would act like that. You think of,
That's what I want
it's
you
just
to
the
think.
perpetual like of like, peace. You think of a hippie. Honestly, that's what a lot of people think of when they
Right.
think of Jesus, and that's not what he was.
Yeah. Well,
And I do have to.
there's a difference between peaceful and harmless, Isaac.
Yeah. I also want to say I love the animation style of this movie. I think it's
Oh
really
yeah.
cool. They could have just copy pasted like the same model on everyone. I'm looking at you, Disney. They
No,
basically just do
like
the same fucking face shape and everything. Every single character
yeah,
had their
no.
own distinguishing features.
Yeah, like
All of them.
there was one guy, and you know who I'm talking about, with like the fucking caveman enlarged forehead. Man had like a 9 head.
Yeah.
He was a big head, and I liked it. I liked the
There
design.
was one dude where his nose was like half his face.
Yeah, each person had like very distinct looking faces. So like even though
Mhm.
they all had the same hair color, the same skin tone, the same like clothes, like you could tell them apart very easily.
Yeah, it
And
was
character design
really
knocked it out of the park.
Oh, you also were talking. You already brought this up, but I totally forgot to say it. One of the most amazing shots of the whole movie is when they are doing the Jesus walking on the water
Mm.
thing, because it is like the water animation is fucking amazing, and like there's the lightning and like the way like just him just standing there,
Mm-hmm.
like they showed the sheer like weight of Jesus in this movie.
Yeah,
They did a very very good job at
the
it.
impact that he had, and Oscar Isaac did a great job portraying him. His presence was like commanding and like awe
Mhm.
worthy.
Yeah, it was a very good
Oh
choice.
yeah, no, freaking mwah choice. It was great.
Let's move on into the rankings then, and go ahead, Merrick. You know what? You don't get an opportunity to talk too much on the podcast, so I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna give this a 6.
It's pretty good for a kids movie.
Um, it is.
Is yeah.
It's a really good kids movie though.
Yeah, kids movies don't tend to get higher
Very
than sixes
important.
on this channel.
Very important kids movie, I would say.
Yeah, this is
That's true.
a very good Easter movie as well. This is something that you could watch with your kids on
Oh
Easter
yeah.
to kind of
That's
explain
true.
why we celebrate
We should,
Easter.
we
It's a
should get
very good. Go ahead.
this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah, I
should.
will.
It would be a very good like it's a very good like child's first introduction to Jesus. Like it takes a lot of his
Well,
accomplishments. It takes a
probably
lot of
shouldn't
his
be the first introduction, but it should be a more like
it
deeper understanding
yeah.
of the story.
It takes a lot of what he did and breaks it down into a very easily digestible and understandable thing for a child.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give this a
Yeah.
7 out of 10, which is, again, for kids movies, that's a glowing review.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat because I'm also giving this a 7 out of 10. This movie was very, very well written. Like well, I mean, the story's already written. Like it's the story of Jesus, but it's also already a story told by like written by Charles Dickens.
Yeah.
Like it's based on that. So it's like it's already been written, but like the way they portray it on the screen was done so well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like this it's also every scene in the movie is like you have to think about the fact that it's this child, like his father is telling him the story of Jesus,
And
and
he's
his
just like imagining
imagination is
everything. Yeah.
yeah.
Because it'll kind of
And it's
blend.
like
It'll blend the father son cat and him telling the story into the story itself. Because there's a part where they lose the
Mhm.
cat and the cat's running around the streets and whatnot.
well, what's even
So they
better
kind
is
of
like the cat finds Jesus and Jesus is like petting the cat.
yeah. So they kind of blend both of those aspects of the story very well in a way where it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like too jarring or disjointed or anything. But no, very
Yeah.
good overall. Very, very good.
Angel Studios continuing to eat.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. That should wrap up our podcast here. Merrick, once again, thank you so much for joining us for all three movies today. Isaac,
Of course.
could you give our lovely guests a look at what we're checking out next time?
Absolutely. Next time we'll be looking at the new Michael B. Jordan movie Sinners. Uh we have the all long awaited Until Dawn. Uh in air quotes, yeah, air quotes, Until Dawn. We have the Accountant 2, Autism 2, Electric Boogaloo.
It's true.
And then new Blumhouse movie, Drop.
Interesting. Did we not just have
So
a new Blumhouse movie like last episode?
yeah, we don't talk about that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Anyways, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe because it keeps us going to the theaters and bring these videos back here to you. Be sure to check out our Letterboxd accounts on screen now. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
Roll credits.